Hey everybody, welcome back to Ellipsis. I'm Champion.
And I'm MJ.
And we are continuing our journey with Monster today. Previously, we saw Tenma sort of once again on his own. Nina/Anna decided to get the hell out of Dodge after her parents died. The police, or the detectives that arrived to help them, turned out to be bad, working with Johan, some sort of relationship there. But they are actually police, as he found out when he foolishly went to the police department. At that time, Anna left.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't know where she's going, but she seems like she can take care of herself.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, we don't know what Tenma's move is now and how Lunge is gonna play into all of this. So we'll just get right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Tenma.
Oh, that's right. She left him
And
the food as well. Oh, and he started crying because I'm sure he feels so helpless in this situation.
yeah. But I guess she's trying to protect him too.
Yeah. She knows he's a good guy.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, so she
We
tried to
still
kill him,
don't. Yeah, we still don't know her motives.
Monster. I mean, she forgives you, you know?
Mm.
So he's back,
He's back at the hospital.
the hospital. Oh, this is just gonna make him, I feel like, look really suspect to Lunge. Like, oh, during that time you were gone from the hospital, these people died in this town.
And then he just came back to work.
Okay, he just came back. Pursued. Oh, is he gonna have to go on the run? I feel like I've been fearing this whole time. I don't want him to be like, you know,
The
a
bad
fugitive.
guy.
Yeah. Oh, is she coming back into the
Not
story?
her again. Please no.
Son of a...
Dang it.
She still has a photo of them, though. That is interesting. Like, she didn't just move on.
Mm. So she still thinks about their relationship.
Right.
Which is weird because she was one that left.
Hardships do not become me. You must make me happy now. So, like, from the get-go, she was, you know, very much her father's daughter. She wanted him to rise, and she wanted to be with him on his rise, and in turn make her father rise.
Yeah.
It's interesting she's thinking about that and still has a photo. It's Lunge. Yep. She is not the right person to ask about Tenma.
Mm.
Nine years ago? She's still thinking about Tenma 9 years later?
Mm.
Sorry, I forgot that. I remember like time has passed, but just in regards to their relationship, it makes it even weirder that she's thinking about Tenma.
Yeah.
You think it's because when she was with him, at least, she saw how pure and nice he is, and even though she like dumped him and moved on to another guy, like 9 years of relationships, maybe she's like, no one was ever as nice and as wholesome as Tenma.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would make sense, I guess, yeah.
Because he seems to have an impact on anybody that he meets. So.
Settlements for my divorces. So she's married and divorced multiple times to get and gotten settlements. She has her father's inheritance. She's doing okay. And she's an alcoholic. Fuck, they're gonna make us feel bad for her, aren't they? Why would someone have the same necktie 9 years ago, 10 years ago? Was that a gift she bought him?
これを買われて誰か
Yeah,
に
she
プレ
bought
ゼ
it
ント
and
な
gave
さい
it
ませ
to
んでし
Tenma
た
as a
か。
gift.
ある殺人事件の重要な鍵になるんですがね。
殺人
Yeah, they're gonna think it's Tenma together.
さあね男にプレゼントなんて山ほどしたからいちいち覚えてらんないわ知らないって言ってるでしょどいつもこいつも金目当て私を心から愛する人間なんかいやしないわ
All three. So she was married 3 times. It's like one marriage per 3 years.
また伺います。
Jesus.
何か思い出したらご連絡くださ
I
い。
mean, she obviously remembers she gave it to
今度来る時はお
Tenma.
酒の一本も
So
持っ
she's
て
either
らっしゃい
covering for him because she feels bad or nostalgic, or because
She just doesn't
she wants to
wanna
go
talk
after
him.
Tenma herself, maybe. Like, oh, murder. Tenma killed my dad. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
God.
Oh. Yeah, they're making me feel bad for her. Which is crazy because I hated her. Oh, that night.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand is she did that. Like,
Yeah, people can forget what they did, you know. You know, she could be like, I was a fuck up. I can't believe I did that. She can hang on to that guilt. I'm curious to see like what her thoughts were during this moment. Like, we see it only from Tenma's perspective, and it is just, it sucks so bad, you know. But like,
ドクターノルデ
when she goes in there and starts butting up to this guy, does she have any sort of internal conflict with what she's doing?
yeah, it didn't look like
Mhm.
she did because we saw Tenma's side, but
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's pretty clear cut. She was, forgive me, a grade A bitch. But yeah, who knows? Maybe at the time she didn't feel bad, but like over the years, you know, she's
yeah.
これなら今週中にも退院できそうですよ。
ありがとうございます、ドクター天馬。来月、娘の結婚式なんだが、出席できますかね。
ええ、大丈夫です。でも宴会で羽目を外さないようにしてくださいよ。
So cute.
yes.
あんた本当に名医だ。ずっとこの病院にいてくださいよ。
ドクターテンマお客様です。
今から回診をするんだ。忙しいから断ってくれないか。
Oh, he like puts his patients first always, no matter what. Huh? I was expecting Lunge. Oh, and 9 years away, he walked away from her in the cafe. So, like, they haven't talked since then.
Yeah.
How would you talk to someone 9 years later?
Yeah.
That broke your heart.
久しぶりねケンゾ
あ、
私たちいろいろあったわねお父様もうお休み
Shit, yeah, that must have been traumatic for her.
Finding her dad. Yeah. I will say I mildly dislike the flashbacks. But, I mean, I'm sure they serve some sort of narrative point.
辛いだろうな。気持ちをしっかり。
Just to re-solidify that she is human and she did lose her dad. Yeah,
Remember
the way
how
they
much we
draw
hated
her.
her?
Oh, yeah. The way they draw her, though, it's so subtle, but she seems older and, like, past her prime and, like, just kind of
たまにはこうやって体を休めなくちゃ
hollow. You know?
あなた仕
like
事の虫だも
lost.
の
Yeah.
君も少し痩せたんじゃないか。
噂で聞いてるでしょ
あ、
What rumors?
春ね覚えてる10年前の春そしたらあなたったら
悪いんだけど。
Why are you here?
Yeah, what do you want?
エヴァ、時間がないんだ。
He's working.
Is she gonna be offended that he's not making time for her, or that he's gonna reject her, and then she's gonna be
3回
like,
の結婚の失敗で初めて分かったの私のこと本当に愛してくれたのは
"This is
そうあなただけだったわ
悪いんだけど。
you
ケンゾ
broke his heart like in a way that is insane. You can't possibly expect him to."
Like now that you've realized that he's the only one that's gonna love you like that.
I appreciate your feelings, but I just can't accept them.
あなた、あのネクタイで何かまずいことでもあるんじゃないの？あのネクタイは確かに私があなたにプレゼントしたものだわ。
That's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. Like,
黙っていてあげるわ。
him rejecting her is gonna lead her to be like, yeah.
He did it.
And for all of his amazing qualities, Tenma is really bad at defending himself. He doesn't seem to care about appearances, so he doesn't finagle his way to cover his bases. We saw it earlier with, Lunge coming after him for the initial, murders of the 3 people. And once
それなら
again,
全部言うわよ。
he just
ネクタイのこと警察に話すわよ。
and yep, she's gonna like man, hell hath no fury than a woman scorned, right? And
重要参考人としてドクター天馬を引っ張れ。これで一気にたくさんの事件が解決するかもしれません。
she's so fucking bitter. Just when I was feeling bad for her, like a little.
どういうことだね、ドクター。
And he's resigning. See, he does not know how to not look suspicious, or rather, he just doesn't care. And it's gonna hurt him in the long run because he can't go after Johan. He can't, try to find Nina if he's the suspect, right? That the police are after. It's so short-sighted of him, and that's probably like his...
Yeah, he's not thinking about it. Like,
Which I get, because you don't want to have a perfect protagonist, right? You don't want somebody that's like smart and kind and good. He has to have some sort of flaw.
ドクター天馬が殺人容疑？
But it's frustrating for us to watch because, we know he's innocent. We know he's a really good guy. It's like, dude, have some common sense and cover your bases.
yeah. But then I feel like the more he tries to cover it up, it's like the more
like
he
not
seems suspicious.
not covered up, like cover his bases, like proactively go to Lunge and say, hey, this is what happened with this and this, right? Or if he knows this woman is spiteful, at least be like, hey, I can't talk right now. Can we talk later? Like he doesn't care about appearances. He doesn't care about being dishonest or like putting on an illusion of things being fine. If things aren't good, he's gonna just say it's not good, right? And I can respect that, but it really hinders him.
なんだ。
His patients could speak to him.
They're going to, I'm sure, because he's
ドク
such
タ
a
ー
good
天馬
guy.
が人殺しなんかするわけがない。そうだ。
私たちの命を助けてくれた恩人よ。
ドクター天馬は無実だ。
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, patience.
And the nurses, and I'm sure all
Yeah,
of
like
the
everyone who's
doctors
known him in the
there.
past 10 years will be like, this guy wouldn't hurt a fly. He values life. His actions speak louder than any words could, right?
なんだかえらい騒ぎですね。パトカーが山ほど来てますよ。ドクター天馬。そうか。何があったんだろう。とにかく駅の前で降ろしてくれ。
Aw, they're giving him a ride. So at least
Why
you
in
think
the
he was...
back of a van?
I think he left his car because I think he
Yeah.
had a feeling. That's why he resigned, because he's like, oh, I'm going to be a suspect. Also, when he did the surgery, right, he said it's over. I think he was already making up his mind that he didn't belong there. Oh, he's reflecting to like the moment that the decision that changed his life to save a boy's life, right?
死んだ方がマシだ。
大変です。あの双子の兄弟がどこにもいないんです。
There's a lot of flashbacks in this.
This is, I
episode.
was gonna say, this is primarily, it seems like, a recap just for like this first arc of the story, as well as like quite a bit of like really emotional parts with him and what was the fiance's name again? That's why we gotta take notes. I'm sorry, guys. That was my favorite episode. The revelation of Johan.
僕はあの時死んでいたはずだったんだ。先生が僕を生き返らせてくれたんだ。
Just a perfectly normal guy.
That's how he looks like it. Lucas.
I think that is exactly what this episode is. I think it's meant to, like, that first arc is done. Now we're starting the second arc, and they just wanted to recap all of that because now he's on the run, just like the intro suggested he would be, right? So, yep, time skip 5 months later. He's living
Who knows where?
off the grid. He has a lot of money, so as long as he can like liquefy his assets or access his money.
あ、なんだいそりゃ3日前の新聞じゃねえか。今度はフェルデンで中年夫妻がやられたってな。犯人は医者だって話じゃねえか。
Oh, another couple was killed.
知り合いでもいるのかい？
ああ、会えるかどうかわからないが行かなくちゃならないんだ。
Why are you holding
Oh
your
my
gun?
god.
So he's planning to kill Johan. Okay, that kind of answers what we were wondering, like what was his goal? Or at least
No, it's to kill him.
does he think that by killing Johan, by stopping a monster, it'll prevent him from killing other people? Is it about the greater good now? Like, has he fully given up on all life is sacred? Or is he bringing a gun simply to like
Protect himself.
protect himself and have something? Because maybe he just wants to confront Johan and sick the police on him or something.
But he doesn't seem to be working with the police because he's in the papers right now. So
No, but like, you know, once he feels like maybe like, hey, I have a gun, I'll be like, Johan, like, you know, you're coming with me. We're going to the police station or something. I don't know. I really don't know what his plan is. As much as I would, you know, want Johan to die, I don't want Tenma to kill him. I feel like then Johan wins in a way. Like Tenma,
he's so out of character for Tenma.
yeah, like I want him to maintain his stance that all life is worth protecting or saving or sacred in some way.
Yeah.
And obviously this show is gonna batter his beliefs, you know, throughout the run of its episodes, and you know, maybe we will see him kill
Become
Johan.
evil.
No, not evil. Like, no, not at all. Like, nothing like that. Just lose
Go
his
against his
yeah, like you know,
belief.
realistically be like, yeah, you know what, some people you can't save. And while that's like totally defendable, killing someone like Johan, like I don't think anyone would have a problem with it. Tenma from 9 years ago would have a problem with it. And that for his sake, I don't want him to have to do that.
Yeah.
But he has to do what he has to do. I'm sure he's living every day with the guilt that another couple has died, another couple, like,
Yeah.
when's it gonna end? He keeps going after these couples even
Couples.
after he came to collect his sister. So is it a fetish? Is it like, you know, after he killed their parents,
Yeah.
you know, or is there another reason? I don't know. There's so much.
Hmm.
I will say this was probably the weakest episode we've seen so
I
far.
mean, just because
purely
it was
purely
fresh
because of so
arcs.
much recap. A show that's had such amazing pacing up to this point. And don't get me wrong, this was nothing compared to like Naruto or like, you know,
Yeah.
other mainstream shows, especially shonen, where they pad things out because it's seasonal. Like nothing like that. It just feels like they were trying to recap the previous arc before we jump into the new one with him on the run.
Yeah.
And also give us some emotional perspective when we were seeing his ex again. Is it Ava, I think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we said it in the reaction. She seems to be thinking of Tenma because, as she said, he was the only decent person to her in her life, it seems.
Yeah.
And then, you know, turn around and screw over that decent person. Which
Yeah.
I guess in a way, she maybe does actually think Tenma... Because, you know, when someone's that rotten inside, or at least broken inside, they see others the same way, right? Like, I mean, I'm a really cynical person, so I always assume the worst in people on a day-to-day basis, which, you know, I'm trying to work on. But similarly, if someone's just shit, they're going to always assume that someone is capable of being shit. So despite living with Tenma and knowing the type of person he is,
Yeah.
it could
but
be
a
that she's like,
murderer, really?
it could be that she's like, well, he gained this from killing my dad, and after he embarrassed him and, you know, demoted him or whatever, and now his ties associated with this murder, so she might be like vindictively like, yeah, serves you right, you bastard. Like, she's justifying her vengeance as also morally correct, right? I'm helping the police. So I mean, I don't want to write her off as purely just, I'm doing this to fuck Tenma over.
Yeah.
She's,
I mean,
you know.
yeah.
but it seems that way. Yeah.
I think it is.
You think it's purely that she doesn't care about the murder? She doesn't actually
I don't
think.
think she actually cares about the murder. She didn't
No, I mean,
want
I
to
don't-
talk to Lunga in the
No, yeah,
first
I
place, and
don't
then
think she cares about the murders, but I think that she does suspect Tenma is behind them. I don't think that she's maliciously aware that Tenma could never do that and is reporting him anyway. I think she actually thinks Tenma's behind them, but doesn't care. And then now that she's been rejected, she's like, all right, well, fuck
Even
you.
more so, like.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. We don't know where Nina is, what she's up to. Who knows if we'll see her for a while, maybe. Because, I mean, Johan kind of has to find her, I should
Find
say.
her, yeah.
Now, it's possible she's doing what Tenma's doing and also trying to track her brother down
To
using
kill
the
him.
recent murders. You know, like, oh, this couple was killed in this city or this town and Johan's going there. So maybe she's doing the same thing and they're going to meet up again. I really wish he'd just have a phone call or a letter to Lunge. He's taking this upon himself, it seems. And does he not want other people involved, or does he think no one would believe him anyway? I wish I knew a little bit more what his logic is behind all this.
I definitely want to know, like, what he's thinking right now, like what his motives are.
Yeah. Other than guilt and anger, you know, which are very understandable emotions to have as well. I might give Lunge, you know, shit, but he really only has this information to work with, right? So with what he's been presented, he's like, it's obvious that it's Tenma, you know? Like, he benefited the most. He's anatomically versed because he's a surgeon, so he knows how to kill people, how to, you know, do things with evidence, maybe even poison, things like that, right? The timelines coincide, except for the initial 3 murders.
Do you think it would be good for Tenma to go to Lunge? Because he seems to be set on, like, it's Tenma's tie. Like, he has all the evidence.
But I feel like he can also, I feel like Lunge is the type of guy where, like, he can tell when someone's lying, at least. And Tenma's story is so ridiculous, it has to be true. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Lunge could think that someone like Tenma could come up with something so flamboyant and paranormal almost. Like, really, this kid that had a bullet in his head heard you say you wanted to kill, you know, these 3 people, or you wish they were dead, and then he manages to poison them, escape with his sister, come back 19 years later as a serial killer, try to abduct her, kill her adoptive parents, and frame you using your tie, which you used to tie up one of his henchmen. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy.
Yeah,
You'd have to believe him, right? Yeah. I can't even recite it without, like, saying, yeah, that is kind of crazy. That's a positive of this show, and I guess the manga as well, is it is all pretty ridiculous for a realistic show, but it sucks you in. You're like, yeah, this could happen. This really, really could happen. But when you zoom out, you're like, what the fuck kind of weird.
Maybe
weird show is
Tenma
this?
realizes, like,
He's like,
how
this
crazy
is so,
that would sound if he did go to Lunge.
They just lock him up. The evidence is only on him. Yeah, who knows? I wish he'd at least, like, phone. Like, I'm thinking of The Fugitive. Have you seen it? Harrison Ford, Tommy Lee Jones. Harrison Ford is framed for the murder of his wife, and Tommy Lee Jones is the U.S. Marshal who hunts him down. And Harrison Ford keeps trying to tell him, like, I didn't do it. And Tommy Lee Jones is like, I don't care. I'm bringing you in. Like, because everyone says they don't do it, you know? And it's like this cat and mouse chase, right? And I think Harrison Ford was also a doctor in that. So interesting. I don't know when the manga was written. I know The Fugitive came out, I think, in the 90s. And it was a pretty iconic movie. So I wonder if, like, there's some homage to that relationship of Lunge and Tenma. Or if that's just a trope that, you know, that happens in shows like this, where innocent guy has a cop who doesn't believe him, but then eventually does believe him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a trope. I don't know.
Yeah.
Regardless, not a bad episode, just padded with flashbacks a bit.
Yeah, like, not much really happened, but
yeah, more just the resolving of certain things. And of course, the main thing from the episode to take away is Tenma is, like, on the run, you know? So we finally get the payoff of the intro, making it look like he's a fugitive, because now he's a suspect.
Yeah, no, he is.
So I'm guessing this was all kind of like the prologue, like this whole, you know,
beginning.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see where the real meat and potatoes of the story takes us.
Alright guys, that was episode 8 of Monster. As usual, if you enjoyed our reaction, leave a like, subscribe if you want more reactions from us, and leave a comment of your favorite part or something that we can improve on as a...
If anything, because I feel like we're already just so perfect, you know. And even if you don't want more content from us, subscribe anyway, because we have a gun to your head. Bye!
The G word. Thanks for joining us.
No, I already said bye.
Thanks for joining us.
I said bye.
Goodbye.